The hashtag the Sea Dog here to give my 2 cents on this NXT massacre done by WWE. I will list off names and give you my 2 cents on each one of them. There was 12 in all released from NXT. First one, referee Stephen Smith. If you don't know which one he was a younger African American fellow. I'm assuming all these are budget cuts, so I would hope he was the worst of the referees they had in NXT. And they're not just releasing him because he's African American, which I'm sure it's not. So not really sure why they released him other than they needed one less referee. Giant Zangier, the next on the list. He was one of the two giants. If you saw WWE's India Superstar Spectacular, I believe that's what it was called, back in January. It was done in the Thunderdome in the middle of the day because it was made more for Indian audiences and made me think they were going to have maybe have an India NXT with the guys who went to Jinder and Veer and I forget his name, going to Raw, and the release of Giant Zangier, and they released that other 6 foot tall woman from India whose name slips me. I'm definitely thinking they're not doing an NXT India anytime soon. But yeah, Giant Zangier was part of the team with the other giant who's on Raw right now. Next is Zachariah Smith. You probably didn't see him. I know I hadn't. Another 7-footer. Used to be a pro basketball player. Released before giving a chance on TV. Next on the list is Asher Hale. Better known for his upper indies appearances like Evolve. 36-year-old, so not too surprising that he was a casualty. Didn't get much shine, and like I said, he's 36 years old. Also, Ari Sterling, a 205 Live guy. There's another not a surprise because they don't seem to care about 205 Live. 205 Live should probably just be absorbed into NXT, but it is what it is. Next up, we will go with Kona Reeves. If you don't know who he is, he's a Hawaiian kid who just exuded rock ripoff. I thought they underutilized what they could do with him, but I mean, he just seemed like he was trying to be The Rock, but not trying to be The Rock. Had a very similar look, except for he had long hair. He had a great smile. He looked, it was a smile that looked like The Rock's. So I don't know if that's what held him back, or maybe he wasn't a good wrestler. I think I saw a match or two where it was like really good for just like a mid-card NXT. But I don't know if he's ever really given much of a chance. Kind of start and stops with him. I don't know if that was injuries or not, but he's done in NXT. I'd like to see him go somewhere because I think he has a lot of promise. Alright, let's get into names some of you will think is a surprise. I will go in reverse alphabetical order. First, we have the Diamond Mine being mined of their diamond in the Rust. Tyler Rust released. I believe WB got him from New Japan, who was using them for New Japan Strong. They signed him up and pretty much had him lose. But the really only surprise is that they just debuted the Diamond Mine. And now they are down a man, and I missed this past NXT, so unless they added somebody, the Diamond Mine is down to a manager, a trainer, and Roderick Strong. Next is Mercedes Martinez. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's not that much of a surprise. Older talent. They did a great job building her up for other people to use her as a stepping stone. As much as I love Mercedes Martinez, it's not a surprise, and I mean, they used her properly. For someone, you gotta figure they weren't gonna give a big push. Next up, Leon Ruff. With his size, really his only future is jobbing or be 205 Live. It was nice to see him win the North American title, have that run. Okay rivalry with Swerve. And it'll be interesting to see what he does. I think the best fit for him, and I should start let's hit up some best fits. Let's rewind. Asher Hale going back to those upper indies. Maybe he could sneak back. He could sneak into Ring of Honor. Ari Sterling, cruiserweight, didn't really get much shine. His best fit is maybe getting to the X division on Impact, or maybe if New Japan has any interest, or NWA. NWA, I'm not sure if they are trying to fill out their roster more, but they could use some more talent. So anyway, we mentioned Tyler Rust. If they'll have him back, go back to New Japan. But problem with him now, he's just jobbed out for his time in NXT. Who wants a jobber? So that's gonna hurt him. Mercedes Martinez, there's so many places she could go. She'd fit in Impact. She'd fit in NWA. She'd fit in AEW. She'd fit in Ring of Honor. I would think she could take her pick. Next, Leon Ruff, Impact. Get in that X division. AEW, you're a mid-carder at best. NWA, mid-carder at best. You could shine in the X division, Leon. Next up, Jake Atlas. Not a big surprise. He was kind of up and down, 50-50 booked, but usually a stepping stone. When he first came in, his kind of gimmick was, I'm gay, and I'm wrestling to show gay people, can do the same thing and succeed, and, which is a good gimmick at first, but it's not a long-term gimmick. He didn't really have anything long-term that was going to carry him. What he needed is a Tyler Breeze kind of moment where he's like, hey, let me try to come up with some characters that will keep me around. Next up, the biggest shock, Bronson Reed. They spent this whole year turning him into a star. And then they just jettison him after. He was the North American champion not that long ago. Oh, let me rewind, sorry. Jake Atlas, definitely can go back to those upper indies. There's probably a place for him. I think AEW will sign him, honestly. Yeah, I think AEW will sign him. He'll be a mid-carder. Maybe. I think the best place for him would be an Impact. Yeah. He should try to maybe get into New Japan, be a junior heavyweight. But yeah, I think it's the best. AEW is probably his most likely destination, but I think the best place for him is either New Japan or Impact if he can get in there. All right, so Bronson Reed, the best place for him, he should be able to go wherever he wants. Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, name it. NWA. NXTW create a star, and I'm not saying at the height of his popularity, but on his up, they're letting him go. So he could go anywhere. And probably the best place for him, wow. I think AEW would have him in the TNT title picture, which doesn't say much unless he wins it, because just about anyone's in the TNT title picture. Impact. Maybe they try to fit him. Like, the problem with him and Impact is they already have XL, double XL, that team of, I'm blanking on their names. I just had, problem is he kind of matches guys they already have, and they don't want to overdo their super heavyweights. Ring of Honor, they could use some big men. NWA could use them. New Japan, best place would probably be New Japan or probably New Japan. If he can get in there, that'd be great for him. And then finally, we're at Bobby Fish, which isn't a surprise. I know a lot of you think it is, but he's been hurt a lot. He's older. He's like in his 40s. Yeah, I know a lot of you. Well, Red Dragon, O'Reilly and Fish. It's like, yeah, O'Reilly's on his singles run now. It's, that tag team is probably dead. His best options: New Japan, Ring of Honor, NWA. I don't think AEW has a place for him. Maybe Impact could put him in the X division, and it'd be very interesting to see what they do with him. Actually, I'd kind of like to see him in Impact now that I think about it. But yeah, those are the guys gone, and gal. And, my 2 cents of where they could go. Oh, about Giant Zangier and Zachariah Smith, those 2 big men. I mean, maybe they can get AEW and be enhancement talent and hope that they get that, look by Tony Khan. It's like, let's turn that guy into a star. I'm not sure how good they are. Like, do you want to bring in a 7-foot guy who's not good? Because we don't know how good they are. And then Steven Smith, that referee, he could, he could go anywhere if he can show that he's a good ref, get some tryout matches, I guess, and, go where you can go, really. But yeah. Alright, so that's the list of everyone released as of now. It's 11:40 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. We'll see if there's any more releases. Like, subscribe, turn notifications, and don't forget to hashtag the Sea Dog.